And when I'm home alone, it kind of sounds like there's somebody walking around in here, like in my living room, and I'm like, oh my god, who broke in? And I didn't hear. Or is that a ghost? Who's there? But it's nobody, it's the upstairs people. Alright, so today I just felt like chit-chatting and sewing. Chit-chat and sew. Should we call it that? Is that the name of the segment? Chit-chat and sew. Maybe. Hold on. Ugh, it's hot. I'm always just really hot. I'm just always hot, like disgustingly hot all the time, and I hate it. So, anyways, that was a close one. Wow, that was aggressive, girl. Calm down. So yeah, I just wanted to chat, check in, say hi, hello, how are you? I'm hot and sweaty. God, why did you make me this way? I don't know, it's fine. But honestly, real talk, I just felt like coming on here and sharing a bit of like, not just the creative process or like the process of making an item, but to talk to y'all about what has been going on. What is the 411? Thoughts, just thoughts. I guess I'm gonna vent a little. I'm just gonna vent a little and talk to y'all. And something that has been really on my mind for some time now is my business. Obviously, that's why I'm on here. But more seriously, I think I've been thinking a lot about the past year, all the feelings of like failure and just negative thoughts that have crept in. And I think one of the big things that I felt last year, especially when I was going through what I was going through, I just felt like, excuse me, if you see me patting my face, it's because I'm sweating. Ew. And then I'm gonna have to go sanitize my hands. Great, great. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So I think one of the things that I've been thinking a lot about is how I felt obviously like a failure because of my mental health and what I was going through, but not just like, that's just one of the many reasons. And something else that has been brought to my attention is how it's like, well, you're an eco-friendly brand. How come you're not out here peddling and pushing more like statistics, information? It was unsolicited advice, honestly, on how I should be marketing my brand. And like, first of all, thanks but no thanks. Please don't tell me how to run my business. Also, that is not my vibe. That is not my brand. Like, I don't want to be that person that has to like guilt trip people and scare people into buying my stuff. Like, no thank you. No thank you. No, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that, again, that brand, that business that does that. Like, honestly, when we really think about a climate situation and pollution, we as the people, we can only do so much, okay? And the work that we do, it is important. Yes, it is, whenever you can. And if you can, choose eco-friendly, choose reusable items, ditch single-use products, plastics. Yes, 1,000 times. I'm 1,000% with that. But the responsibility, or the people that are responsible for all of this pollution and the problem, big companies, big corporations, Coca-Cola, talking to you. But yeah, you know, like, I'm not saying that my work and my business isn't gonna help. It does, but it's not. There's a greater capitalism problem here, okay? And do your best with what you can. That's my thing. I don't want to guilt trip anyone into buying my stuff, okay? I really don't. I really, really don't. And the products that I make and offer are honestly products that I love to use every single day. Like, this is why I created them, obviously because I do want to make a difference, but they're also, at the end of the day, products that I love, products that I actually use. Like, I'm not out here just trying to sell y'all anything because it's like the wave, because like the whole green movement, you know, it's not because of that. It's because I truly believe in them and just love them in general. Like, why would I go out there? I think that's what I think too. Like, financially, I'm trying to be more financially responsible, and I get it. Like, a pack of, let's say, the cotton rounds to remove your makeup are only $2 compared to my set of 7 makeup remover wipes. I get that price difference is significant, but to me it's like, that's an investment, and that's something that I'm going to keep reusing over time. So that's another reason why. Like, I get it. It's easy to just buy something that costs $2 in comparison that's something that's handmade and costs a little more. But I do think of it as like, it's also financially economical at the end of the day. But again, I'm not gonna go and scare people into like, the world is burning, it's on fire, you gotta stop reusing those plastic baggies, you're the problem. Like, no, that's not me. Like, it sucks, yes it does, but I get it. I also get it, okay? And I don't ever want to be that person to make anyone feel guilty or shameful for buying what they can buy. Like, I totally, again, get it. Sometimes it's your finances that keep you from purchasing reusable items. And that's another reason why I try to make them as affordable as possible. And sometimes I make them a little too affordable that your girl doesn't make that much of a profit. She didn't in the past, okay? So it's a lot, okay? And that's one thing too, is like, I got a lot of comments and messages last year about that, like, you should be doing this, it would be great if you would share resources and blah 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 blah. And yes, it's true. My business would probably thrive a lot more if I was constantly peddling and pushing these sorts of narratives. But again, like, I don't know. I don't want to be that person that's constantly reminding you of like, ooh, that little plastic baggie that you had to buy because it's all you can afford, you're the problem. No, I don't want to do that, okay? So sorry, I'm ranting and rambling, but yeah. And yeah, I struggled with that last year. Like, I wasn't fitting into this box of like what other eco-friendly businesses are doing and how they're out here promoting and pushing and not I don't want to say scaring, but you know, at the end of the day, kind of, yeah, like, you're guilt tripping people. I didn't want to do that. And and I get it. Like, I don't fit into that box either. I don't fit in the eco-friendly, like, typical pages that you see, okay? Because I also try to be myself, and that's another thing too, that I kind of was like, I can't do that anymore because people just want to see the business side of it. They just want to see the products. They don't care about whatever. And to some extent, I'm sure that's true, but I'm much more than my business. And I think that's something that I really, really learned last year, was like, you're so much more than just your business. You're a person. You have real issues, you know, like everyone does. We all go through things. And I think it was really fun to just get to explore and connect with myself again, and get crafty again, because I was working on a lot of just like projects that weren't for sale. Like, I started making those jewelry. I still do it, by the way. I just don't really want to like, not everything needs to be for profit, you know, not every hobby needs to turn into a business. I just make it for myself, or just because to get my hands busy, you know. But yeah, and I feel like I have this desire to want to explore that crafty side of me more, and I don't want to just be an eco-friendly brand or business, if that makes sense. Or I might just branch off into just tapping back into my roots of being a crafty person. Like I've always been a crafty kid. Like that's just who I am. I'm crafty. I'm a do-it-yourselfer, you know? So I think that's something else I want to explore and share. So yeah, you might see me either continue to share on here on J Love Knits or make a whole different page. I'm not quite sure yet. Because it's just the beginning process of me wanting to do this. So I don't know. So hopefully you stick around. Maybe I'll show it on my personal IG. Who knows? We'll get there. But yeah, that's been the little something behind my head that I've been thinking about doing. And I probably can't talk while I'm sewing because you're not going to be able to hear me. This machine, she's very, well, she's not that loud, but she can be. But yeah. Also, don't judge me for not using clips. My fabric doesn't really move. I don't think a girl has mastered it somehow. And I think it's a combination between speed and like putting your hands on the project. I don't know. But yeah. I used to use pins, and then some of my fabric would just like get really messed up with the sewing pins. And then I use the clips sometimes, like these. But your girl has gotten very comfortable sewing, so she doesn't really need them. But I definitely recommend if you are new to sewing. And probably I'm gonna piss off a lot of sewers, so oops. And that's kind of what happens when you're self-taught, now that I think about it. Like, my mother-in-law just taught me, okay, this is how you load the bobbin in. This is how you wind the bobbin. This is how you load it. This is how you thread the machine. And then she's just like, here, take some fabric, try to stitch a straight line. You're good, she said. And yeah, I just kind of taught myself from there. Even with this machine, y'all, like, I am not a very patient person when I need to get something done or when I want to get something done. I'm not patient. Like, no. First of all, I got it during COVID and it came in different pieces. Like, I think I had for sure the desk part, the legs, the bottom, but I didn't have like the actual machine. And I was freaking out, y'all. I was freaking out. Because it took forever, honestly, to get here. Where's my little... Okay, whatever. Took forever. It took forever, actually. Let me sip some water. Ooh. Yeah, and I was really, it took forever to get here. So finally when I got here, or got to me, I asked my fiance if he would help me put it together. He said, sure, on my day off. His day off wasn't for a few days, so I was like, I can do it myself. Why would I? Yeah, I'm not very patient, as I said. So I did it all by myself. She's good. She's sturdy-ish. She's good. I actually do need to like tighten up some bolts, which I'll probably do sometime this week. But yeah, overall she's okay. Anyways, I'm making reusable, or I'm calling them not paper towels now because I heard that the person who I guess really blew up making these, like this business, small business, goes after other small businesses that call the towels or napkins, they go after them legally. So a girl does not want to get sued because she doesn't have money for that. And we're just calling them not paper towels now. I like the name. It's cool. It's cool. So that's why I've had to change that name. And that's what I'm making right now. Sorry if I'm a little shaky. I'm a little nervous because y'all are watching me and I'm sweating like a freaking pig. I swear, a girl can't win. And this place actually doesn't even get like hot per se, and it doesn't get cold. I remember being at my in-laws and oh my gosh, y'all, like wintertime was an ice chest. Like you were in a freezer, even inside the house. Like the bedroom was ice cold. The garage was ice cold. But during the summertime, freaking hated it. I will take being frozen over being hot any day. Okay, like no thank you, no thank you. I don't like to be hot. Nope. So yeah, that was not fun. And in here I feel like it just kind of regulates temperature. I don't, maybe it's really good insulation, but I rarely turn on the air conditioner. I feel like right now I'm sweating because I'm, again, not nervous, but I'm recording, so y'all are kind of making me nervous. I'm nervous to see what I look like. Oh my gosh. Anyways, but yeah, it actually, yeah, it's been really, really chill in here. And I would open up the window behind me, but then you would hear all the noise from outside. And if you do hear noise still, I apologize. I went from having like housemates, family members, you know, that would make noise outside to like having upstairs neighbors. And that's something that you can really hear is when they're walking around up there. And when I'm home alone, it kind of sounds like there's somebody walking around in here, like in my living room. And I'm like, oh my God, who broke in? And I didn't hear. Or is that a ghost? Who's there? But it's nobody. It's the upstairs people. But overall, it's fine. Other than that, A-okay. A1. All right, so now I'm gonna flip it inside out. Just like that. You gotta be gentle because you don't want to like mess up the stitches or whatever. And just pop it in, do a little shimmy shake, get all the little, that's the one thing about working with like towel terry, which is this, is that when you cut into it, it looks like, I don't even know, like it's snowing, honestly. The little loops of fabric of the thread are everywhere. Like I have them all over me. And if you ever see me in public and I have thread or just look like I'm just like dirty, it's because I've been sewing. It's undeniable. Like I'm forever gonna just have thread and fabric clippings all over me. And this is an orange peel, but I removed the little spikes on the sides, so I use it to poke my corners out a little bit. Obviously you don't want to do too much so that you don't like rip through the thread and the stitch, but yeah, just like that, just like that. And pat pat pat, since you've already ironed it beforehand, you could give it one more press. This is going to be from my casa, so I don't really care to press it. This is for my own use. And then yeah, you want to make sure that the little hole where you flipped it inside out is tucked in nicely, matches up with the rest. Okay, and now you're gonna top stitch. Well, I'm gonna top stitch. This isn't really a tutorial, but I just figured I'd tell y'all what I'm doing. So yeah, and here we go. Also, the sewing machine has these little lines right here that'll tell me 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4, and 1 inch. So that'll be like where your stitch line is. So I just try to use that as a guide. So long as the fabric lines up with the line, you're golden. Y'all know what? I'm really hard on myself when it comes to like making sure stuff looks like precise and exact. Like I hate when I have like wonky stitch lines, stitching. I don't know, my brain can't function, I'm getting hungry. But like, oh my gosh, that's like one thing that I would stress over. And there have been, and there still are, I'm still really bad at this, but like even if I'm like just a wee bit off, I will just be like, no, I can't sell this. And something somebody once told me was like, well, you know that big corporations are out here really not giving an F, and they sell stuff that like it just looks completely off stitching. Like, have you ever looked at the inside of your clothes, like, or the stitches on the outside of your clothes? Like, it doesn't always look 100% perfect, and you're over here worried about like one little stitch line that looks just a bit off. And like, I understand that, but like, I'm not, name your big corporation here or big company here, I can't afford to lose customers like that, you know, because it doesn't look legit. So it's a struggle. Like, and then I end up keeping a lot of things because of that, and I'm like, what do I do with this? So it's a dilemma. I'm not a perfectionist. I just, yeah, when it comes to stuff like this, I really am, and I'm trying to work on it, and I kind of just try to see it from like, okay, it's still functional, right? And that's something that's also eco-friendly, is like, it's still functional, right? Correct? Yes. Okay, so why does it matter that you have just like this little one area that's just a little off? It's functional. So that's another thing I want to address, is like, it's not about how great something also looks, so long as it's functional. And so long as it can still perform its job. Kind of like me and my body. My back's all jacked up, but I can still perform my jobs, my duties. I don't think that makes sense. Whatever. Your girl's crazy. I really am. I really am. All right. And now I'm gonna do the little crisscross applesauce. Yeah, okay. And I do this because if I don't do the X's, then it'll separate too much in the center, like the two pieces of fabric. And voila, we are done. Dun, da, da, dun. Okay. Somebody asked me why I don't make like tutorials and whatnot, and I kind of have been of the, at first when I would hear that, I'm like, I gotta like gatekeep this because it's my source of income and blah 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 blah. Then if my customers know how to make this themselves, they're not gonna buy from me anymore. And I still kind of struggle with that kind of mentality, I'm not gonna lie. I still kind of feel that way because, especially now that I'm like going through it, but I am more open to it, and that's kind of why I want to do like the whole crafty other channel, or not other channel. I feel like I'm gonna, I don't know, the process, I'm still trying to, again, rack my brain around how to execute it, but I think that's why I do want to do like a crafty segment, or show y'all how to make your own stuff. Maybe it's not stuff that I sell, but who knows? Who knows? I'm just in the process of thinking about it. But maybe tutorials will come. Maybe I still have to think about it. And honestly, a lot of what I do can be found on the internet. I will say that. I will say that. Okay? Do your research. I'm very big on that too. Like, I've had people in the past tell me that they've bought my items just so that they could replicate it. And I'm not gonna lie, that kind of did, I was like, well, thanks for the purchase. And they specifically said because they want to sell it too. And I was like, okay. And I get it, like the sun shines for everyone. I agree. I really do. I just think like, don't tell me that you're gonna try to take my stuff. No, I'm just kidding. But a lot of this is more so like stuff that I've picked up from, my own research and put my own twist on it too, or did my research on fabrics at work. So here we go. Here's a towel. I use it as a placemat when I'm eating, also as a napkin, obviously to clean. Just don't do what I did and use it like when you're using bleach products, because then you'll definitely stain it. And I don't care because I'm gonna reuse it anyways, but yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. So there we have it. Thanks for listening to me rant and talk about really nothing, everything and nothing at the same time. Bye.